So, yeah, so what do folks want to talk about? Does anybody have, Ellen, you weren't at the last one, so is there anything that you had questions about or you wanted to bring up? Because Sarah and Tamir were both at the last one, so, and you are muted, Ellen, um, so I can't hear you. Okay. And if you
Are we
can't,
wait?
oh, there we go. Oh, no, I just heard somebody. If you can't unmute, you could also, oh, there we go. Now I can, you're unmuted now.
Yes, but now I'm on. I can't. The video is stopped.
Oh,
I
no.
cannot
Okay.
figure out. I'm using my iPhone, which I don't normally do,
Yeah.
and the video thing, the muting thing went away.
Oh,
So I can't figure out where it is to unmute myself and see you all at the same time.
oh, bummer. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't have any iPhone Zoom experience, so I can't help but, oh, there. No,
Can you
now we've
still
got
see
it.
me?
Now
Can you still
I
hear
can
me?
see you and hear you. Can you see us?
Yay!
Okay, great.
I did come with a question, but I came basically to say hi.
Okay.
Um, but
Hi.
my question is, so obviously I washed Nova because of her allergies, her severe allergies,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
going to get another puppy eventually and start again. How do you keep how do you transition a dog who went almost everywhere with you to a dog who does not go almost everywhere with you because obviously she is no longer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So right now she's not going everywhere with you, and you're leaving her home.
Well, technically I don't go very many places now, and everywhere I go she can go with me.
Oh, okay.
But I'm assuming that at some point I will have to, I will build up. I've been leaving her. I happen to live in an apartment in a house.
Hmm.
So my friends are almost always here and they have their dogs and whatever. So she's
Yeah.
never actually really alone.
Okay. What I would start with is, so there's like a step-by-step process
Oh,
I
good.
would recommend. So the first thing I would start with is just to make sure that she's not experiencing separation distress when left home alone. So I would leave her home and set up two devices, a phone and a camera, or two phones, or an iPad and whatever, so that you can watch her. Like you can use Zoom for that,
Right.
so that you can go out and watch how she does when you leave her home, like ideally go out for like half an hour, and just you can sit in your car or you can go to a cafe or whatever. And just what you want to see is even if she like does a little bit of like barking or pacing at the door or something initially, after like 10 minutes, she should have gone and laid down and, and sort of
Right.
done something that looks like a relaxed
Nobody,
behavior.
I could never actually leave her totally alone because
Mhm.
there's always at least one person in this house.
Yeah, that's okay because that's what would be happening when you get your next dog and you go out with them
Right.
too.
And
You just,
she's fine with that. I mean,
okay, so
she
you
she
already
does
know.
come down and says, "Where's mom?" But then
Mhm.
she'll lay down at the top of the stairs upstairs with, whoever is up there, or lay down here depending on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, great. So if you're not concerned about that, that's fantastic. That's a huge issue that's off the table. So that's great. So then the next thing that I would do is, which might seem a little silly, is like use like a stuffed dog or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and just start doing things with the stuffed dog while she is in a pen or in a downstay or tethered or something. So she can get used to like you paying attention to another little being while she's and giving treats to that other little being while she's not getting that.
I do have another dog here. Should I use a live dog?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you've got a live dog,
Yeah,
that's great.
we have Bella, so
Yeah.
that's my up there
So
neighbor.
yeah, perfect. So what I would do is like make sure that Nova's, whatever you want her to do when you're working with a puppy, that's a trained behavior that she's used to, whether it's having her behind a gate or having her tethered or having her in a downstay. And then you periodically throw her treats for
Right.
for just calmly, quietly hanging out while you're working with the other dog.
Excellent.
So get her used to that.
She
Um,
already does that as well.
Great, fantastic. So, and then the next thing then would just be like periodically take Bella out. Like you don't actually have to take her anywhere, but you just make it seem like you're
Ah,
taking the other dog
right.
somewhere so that whatever you do when you leave Nova, give her Kong or whatever, her thing, your
Right.
leaving protocol is, and you take Bella and you make it seem like you're taking Bella out to train her and then
Okay.
stay out for an hour. You can give Bella, you can keep Bella, you can give Bella to her people or whatever, and then come back in. So yeah,
Wait, Sharon, I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
yeah.
What? Tell you. Do you know what I want Abby to do? I told you. Yeah, microwave. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell her. Sorry. There's things happening, but go ahead.
No problem.
Yes. So
So that's how I would start. And then, it is going to be different when you get a puppy because obviously Nova is going to realize that this is your puppy and a new member of your family, and that's
right.
different from the other dog. But if you've got all these foundation behaviors in place, and then also make sure that you set aside time to do special things with Nova separately from the puppy so that they both get, Ellen
Individually.
time, training time, and take Nova out sometimes and do stuff with her and leave the puppy home. So they're both getting that experience.
That's actually, I never would have thought of doing that, but that's a great idea. Because, of course, Nova, though there have always been other dogs and cats in the house, Nova is the only dog that has ever continuously been down here with me. So she
Yeah,
is the only dog I have right now. And the puppy's not going to be until next year sometime. But cool. That was my,
yeah.
I guess the other question was, how do you keep, so obviously Nova learned some bad habits from the dogs upstairs, barking when people were going by the house and whatnot. How do you keep a new puppy from learning bad habits from the dogs that are in the house?
Well, that's a really important question. That's a big one. So I would work with Nova a lot now
Right.
on those behavior issues before you get the puppy. Um,
Oh, well, prevention.
so yeah, because they absolutely learn from each other, and young dogs and puppies 100% will mimic the adult dogs in the household and will learn from them.
I can't
So
train they've been trying to train the behavior of the barking out of the upstairs dog. I actively work at it, and that's how my dog learned to bark because
yeah,
I learned to bark. If I can't stop,
well, so what I would say is first train with Nova on
right,
these things and get Nova to the best she can be. And I'm happy to do, private lessons if that would help, or, you can consult with Nancy or whatever works for you, to get as many of the undesirable behaviors uh, modified with Nova as possible. And
right,
then when you get the puppy, what you're going to do is um, anytime another dog barks, you're going to run over to the puppy and shower him or her with high value treats
okay,
so that your puppy learns if another dog barks, it's basically a recall to you. He or she should run over to you and get delicious snacks because barking is a really social behavior,
yes,
and you have to and it's very much like a self-reinforcing behavior. The more they bark, the more
yep,
they bark. So you
yep,
want to prevent this puppy from ever learning that barking is like feels good and they should
right,
do it, and also that that the other dog's barking is not a signal to join in. The other dog's barking is a signal to run over to you and get cheese or
okay,
roast beef or whatever.
right, something high value. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
And
hoping my
we,
next dog will be very, very food motivated
yeah, that'd be
because
good.
Nova didn't care about the
Yeah.
roast beef.
And we do also have a handout in the client portal on that very, not specifically about puppies, but it's about multi-dog households. Let me find the name of it. Um, it's, it's for this issue of dogs barking when other dogs bark, but it's definitely far better to prevent it and to be
Right,
prepared with a new puppy to
right. Excellent. Well, I
yeah.
mean, that gives me stuff to work on until I decide to, try again. So,
Yes. Let me see if I
um,
can find the
and
name of it.
Nova is very easy to train as long as I have, like, I can reward her for not barking with like a ball because she doesn't, I mean, with a lower
Yes.
value toy.
Right. Um,
And that would work for her because food she doesn't care about.
yeah.
Good girl.
Okay, so the handout that I'm thinking about is called Thank You, Eliminating Excessive Barking.
Excellent.
And I think I can attach it in the chat. I will give that a try. But if not, it's in the client portal.
Yes.
Um, let's see.
We are working on the command all done.
Oh, good.
So if she goes out and barks and I say all done and she stops barking, then I start throwing the ball for her.
Yeah. The thing is with barking, because barking is a sort of a arousal based behavior,
Yes.
and play is also an arousal based reinforcer.
Right.
It's preferable, especially for your future puppy, to use food because food is a little
Yes.
more calming.
Well,
Um,
I'm going to get a lab. I know that they are food motivated. My problem is that I cannot reward Nova with food
yeah,
because if I say all done and then I try to give her like cheese or meat, she won't eat
right.
it. She'll just go back to
Yeah,
bark.
yeah, right. No, you have to
Right.
use, hold on, let me see if I can find it and put it in the chat. Here we go. Um, you have to use what she cares about.
Yeah.
But something does sometimes happen with multi-dog households, which is food sometimes becomes higher value
Yes.
with competition.
So
So,
Nova and Bella, I've started feeding them together. Like we
mm,
take turns because Nova would much more likely to eat if Bella is also eating. So she's a very
yes,
social eater. So that's what I'm really hoping will happen.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Cool.
you'll have to wait and see.
I will. But
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Okay, awesome.
So that was all the questions I had. But and then I came to say, hi, Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year. It's great to see you.
Yes. And you'll see me again when I get this new puppy. In
That's
fact, you're going to help
exciting.
me find this new puppy.
Okay, awesome.
So we're going to be very excited. But it's definitely not going to be a doodle. No
Okay,
doodles for me. Ever.
okay,
Ever again.
okay.
Their
All right.
coats are ridiculous.
Yes, yes. The
Yes.
coats are a lot of work.
They are
Yeah.
not only, yes, they're just ridiculous. She comes in from the snow looking like the abominable snow person. Like
Yes.
it's just like literally like clumps of snow everywhere.
Yeah.
And the only way I know to get them off without pulling out her hair is put her in the shower and rinse her off. Because it's literally like everywhere in her face, in her eyes, in
Yeah.
her ears.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. Um, I've had hairy dogs since 1998. Bouviers.
right.
Bouviers are even so much worse in terms of their coat than doodles are. It's like they're like basically like taking a piece of shag carpet and then making it a 75-pound dog. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
no, that would be a
and
hard
just like the
thing.
snowballs, like in the
Yes.
paws and like
Yes.
all up
In
and
the
down, all
paws and
that.
on the
Yeah,
legs and in the
yeah,
muzzle and
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fun. Because like I had a German Shepherd before this. I had a 140-pound King Shepherd.
Hmm.
And he would literally go outside, lay in the snow. He'd come back in, not a speck on him because of course his coat was totally dry because he had that thick doubly coat. And so it was like, great, I can handle all the hair.
Right.
Heck with
It's
this.
two different problems. I mean, yeah, my
Exactly.
partner has a German Shepherd, and I have a standard poodle and a poodle mix. So, so we have the everything covered in German Shepherd hair, and
Yes.
then also I have to constantly take my dogs to the groomer, and they're constantly, you know,
Right.
their fur is takes, and then I have to do things like this. Ready? One, two, three. Because we went out in the cold today, and I keep them short so that I
Yeah.
don't have to deal with all that. And then of course
Right.
he's freezing cold, so he has to wear a parka.
Hi. Yeah, that's Gormit. That's right.
Yeah, Gromit.
Gromit. Yeah.
He and Nova look a lot alike, I think.
They do look a lot alike. Nova right now is not short because, of course, she had all that major itching.
Yeah.
And so, but she can't, her skin is so sensitive from the mites that if I put a coat on her, all she does the whole time is literally try to get out of the coat.
Did she have mange?
She did have mange, but that
Oh, it's horrible.
she's allergic to dust mites and sorch mites,
Oh,
which we did allergy
oh,
testing, and you can't eliminate those.
yeah.
And
That's
then they
terrible.
put her on Apoquil.
Hmm.
and she probably got mange because that suppresses the immune system, and we have a lot
Oh,
of foxes in our backyard.
oh gosh. Sorry.
Yes, and so of course she can't go on Apoquil because I need her immune system to be healthy to
Oh
fight
no.
off the mange.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. Allergies can be really, I've had several dogs with really bad allergies and it can
Yeah,
be really, yeah, difficult. Okay. Well, let me just check in also with
yeah. Check
Sarah
on
and
everybody else.
Tamir
Yep.
and see if anybody else has questions. Yeah, Tamir, go
I'll,
ahead.
I'll hold my
Oh,
question. I'll hold my question until after Tamir, but I was
okay.
just reading the thank you thing. Are there any situations in which you wouldn't use that thank you for barking just while we're still thinking about that?
Well, so this is only
Hi,
for like
Abby.
this is only for alert barking. So
Okay.
I wouldn't use it, for example, for demand barking
Okay.
or,
Thank you.
for any other kind of barking. This is for like somebody's at the door or I see people walking down the street or that kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you.
yeah, sure. Okay, go ahead, Tamir.
Yeah, yeah. Hello again. It's
Hi.
when you just said thank you, I realized that when she's barking outside because we have bears and God knows what outside, I turned to her and I said, "Oh, thank you for protecting us." And she came over and you're like, "Yeah, I'm doing my job and I'm good at it." And she stopped.
That's
So
great.
I didn't know that that was actually something that to learn from you. It was anyway.
Yeah.
One other thing to report, and then my questions, and that is, I was teaching the ladle, touch with the ladle, and
Mm-hmm.
putting it above her nose, and then I was noticing that it went well several times without her kissing, without her licking,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
then she started like as if reaching forth to bite it,
Mm-hmm.
and I could, I mean, it wasn't happening a lot, but it was happening enough that I said there has to be a reason why this is happening, and then I found the reason. And the reason is that after she's finished dinner, I give her what's called a dental chew.
Yeah.
And I put it above. And
Mm-hmm.
she reaches.
Yeah.
And that moment she did that, I thought, oh, tonight I'm
Right.
going to stop. I'm going to put it underneath so she doesn't associate with a treat
Yeah.
coming down at her. So I was so pleased. It was
Oh,
like
great.
this
Yeah.
recovery
Yeah.
that she taught
Excellent.
me.
Yeah.
So,
She's
okay,
a
so that's
smarty.
it.
Yeah.
Just to report
Okay.
back.
Great.
Now, in the last class, you talked about difference between an event marker and a clicker. And you went
Oh.
fast, and I didn't get it. But what I did get, and I don't know which where it belongs, is that was the right thing to do. You said three things. That was
Mm-hmm.
one. The second was the reward, and the third, behavior is over.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it, and I don't know which one belongs where.
So a click is an event marker. So
Ah,
there's different kinds of event markers. So an event marker um,
oh,
is a
now I
is a
understand.
signal to
I
the
understand
dog.
now.
So yes, could be your event marker. It's a verbal marker, or a click can be an event marker, or if you have a deaf dog, you might use like a thumbs up as your event marker. So anything that the dog can perceive that you use consistently to mean those three things can be your event marker. Yeah,
Got it. Thank you.
sure.
Second, use consistently. Okay. Uh, I wanted to know more what I need to do and what she's allowed to do between a regular walk and a working walk. So one,
Hmm.
she's allowed to sniff, she's allowed to just be a dog, and the leash can be longer and not pulling, but certainly allowing her to interact with nature and whatever she wants to. I mean, not in a city, obviously, but and then when she's working. So how much discipline do I apply to just a regular doggy walk?
Yeah, that's a great question. So some of this is that you need to be consistent and know what your rules are, and that's more important than um, specifically what I tell you the rules are. That you're clear in your own mind of what you want your rules to be. So I usually have at least two. Actually, I end up more than that. But anyway, I typically have two cues for my dogs, and one is the working dog walk, which you could kind of sort of consider a heel or something, which means walk by my side, um, you know, check in with me every once in a while. Um, don't pull, don't sniff things, don't pee, don't poop. This is, something you would use in a store or in a doctor's office or whatever. Um, and then I have my, casual or recreational walk. And for me, my only rule for that is um, don't pull, and you can do everything else. Um, and I usually use a long line, like a 15-foot leash for
Yeah.
that. And so that they can sniff and they can do whatever they want. They can mark, they can whatever. It's their time. And
Mhm.
that's the cue that I use for that. I actually have another cue that I use if I want to run with my dogs, which is let's run. And my rule for that is you're running next to me. You're not allowed to cross in front of me. You're not allowed to sniff. You're not allowed to stop and pee or poop. Because if we're running and they suddenly are like, I'm going to stop, right? It's a trip hazard for me. So it doesn't really matter too much what the rules are as long as you are really clear. This cue means this, and you reinforce for them doing what you want, and you don't allow them to do what you don't want. But I think it's really helpful for dogs um, to have whatever you call it, sniffy walks or recreational walks or whatever, where they get a lot of time. And ideally, I mean, there have been some really cool studies on this. Um, they did a study with dogs where they had them on a 6-foot leash and then a long line. And I don't remember if it was like a 15 or 20, or I don't remember how long it was. Long leash and then off leash, and they had them on EKGs. It's not the right one. Where they could check their pulse, their heart rate,
Oh,
and
yeah.
um, and what they saw was that dogs, whenever dogs were sniffing, their heart rate would drop. So it just naturally relaxes them. It's really good for their physical and mental health to do a lot of sniffing. And they found that there really wasn't much of a difference um, between being on a long line and between being off leash. But the difference between being on a 6-foot and a long line was really significant. So it's really good for dogs to have more freedom to sort of move the way they want to move sometimes and to do a lot of sniffing. Um, so the tricky thing is if you're training loose leash walking, it's definitely easier to train that if you are sort of training a heel where you're marking and rewarding frequently for walking next to you.
Yeah.
So what I suggest in that case is to exercise your dog as much as you can before you go out for the walk. If you can, play ball in the yard or play tug in the house
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
do a lot of sniffy games in the house or whatever. And then take them out and do like a minute or two of intense reinforcing for heel, for loose leash walking. And then you can release them um, to sniff and do stuff that's more recreational walk with your cue for that. And then you give them some time to do that. And then when they seem to be a little more calm, then you can do another minute or two of training on heel. So you can sort of go back and forth between it. And that way you can it's really, really helpful to get training on leash walking in when you are out doing leash walks. Um, but it can be sort of mentally exhausting for the person and the dog to try to do that for the whole walk. So that's why it can be really helpful to sort of go back and forth and break it up.
The question that I have, thank you, by the way, for this good explanation, detailed. I went on a long walk, well, not a long, about 40 minutes, I think. And my problem is I've poor circulation in my hands, so I have to wear gloves.
Hmm.
And I couldn't manage it because I was trying to hold in my
The
hand,
treats.
fell out. And
Yeah.
then I have these gloves where you can take the top of things off, then my hand
Yes.
froze and I couldn't bend them.
Yes.
And
I feel
so
your pain.
I was
I've
like,
been there.
how on earth am I going to train her outside? Fine, we're good in the house.
I have some equipment options for you. Hold on.
Oh, I saw with your excitement with fingers that you have something
I
up your
do.
sleeve.
So let's see. And we have a little video that shows some of these too. I'll try
Oh,
to
okay.
share that with you guys too. Um, all right. Well, so definitely one thing I would recommend is a food tube. So this is one example. You can just buy these. They sell them for like putting in lotion or shampoo or whatever. But you can put in pate dog food or very creamy peanut butter or anything or cheese whatever, and you can put it in here, and then she just gets a little lick. So that's one form of food tube. Another form is this one. This is my favorite. Again, I put pate dog food in here. Neither of my dogs like peanut butter, but if you have a dog who likes peanut butter, it works great for that. Um, and they're really cheap, and you can get them at like this one. I'll put the links in camping supply stores, and that way you can keep your gloves on, and you just give a little lick. Um, Let me grab the video. There's some pros and cons to them that I
The
cover in
the
the video.
problem with that is, as you say, you have you've been around German Shepherds. Your partner, you said, has one.
Hmm.
That the stomach is so sensitive
Hmm.
that if I veer off, she's on raw. She's a raw food eater.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I can't really put meat in there and yeah, maybe I could
Sure you
actually.
can. Baby food.
Yeah, you're right.
Buy
No,
like
no, baby
pureed
food is
chicken
not
baby
raw.
food.
It's not raw. She eats
Oh,
raw
well
food.
you can puree fish, raw fish.
Or even puree the meat like in a blender. Um,
Yeah, I've used raw food in the past. It is difficult to
It
get
is.
it fine enough. Uh, this one
Yeah.
definitely is more doable. It's got a pretty big opening.
Yeah.
Um,
But to get it in
but
there is
it,
also hard.
but that's why I would do, yeah. Well, you might have to consider trying, see if some cooked, just plain cooked, like baby food doesn't usually, I think, have anything in it besides just food.
Sharon, I don't know if Tamir saw the one with the wide opening has the whole end of it is open. So I take a tablespoon and stuff it from the end and it crimps down. So you don't have to you don't have to put it in the little hole. It
Oh
goes in
yeah,
there.
God no. Yeah. And
Can
you've
you show
used
me that
these
again,
tubes, right?
please? Oh, but is there and how but
Put the
how do
food
you
in
squeeze it into her mouth?
this end.
Oh, I see. That's the end you squeeze it out of, and that's the end that you put it in, which is
And it
wide
has a
mouth.
little thing that slides off, like closes it like a toothpaste, the end of a toothpaste thing. It seals the end of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Then
And you
I'll
can
just
also, if you
thaw.
need to, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'll just thaw the raw meat and put it in there.
Add water, a little bit of water in a blender. I have no
Yeah.
teeth, so I'm very good at
No, no,
making things in a
I can't.
puree.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be contrary, but we're vegan, all of us.
Oh no, I said
So
water.
no, no, I cannot put stuff, her food. I won't put.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't put it in our dishes or in a
Oh,
blender or
oh
You
yes,
can just,
no, I totally understand.
you can
You're
buy
that's
a
not rude at
blender.
all.
You can buy
oh,
a
just buy a
blender
blender.
for really cheap on Facebook Marketplace. You can probably get one for free on FreeCycle and just use it as the dedicated Kismet blender. And then
I
you
can't
don't ever
believe you
need to.
have an answer for everything. It's amazing. How did you
And
know
I've
don't
had a
they,
lot of
I
dogs.
seem to remember with the baby, I think they make one for to change something into baby food that's like simple too. I don't
Ooh,
it was a handheld I'm like trying to reach back 23 years, but it was a handheld thing you could put a piece of chicken in and grind it up and I think a
Cool.
cheap blender would be a better way to go, but that was an option too.
okay. And that container is somewhere. Oh, you put it up already.
Yeah, that's the link to the video. So just copy
Of
that link.
No,
where I
the
can get
link
that container?
to
It
where
has
the
the links
camping.
too. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
it should have the
One
links in the show
one
notes.
quick question. And first of all, Sarah, thank you for the Musher's secret. I ordered it.
I
And
think
Oh,
that was the other person on the call, but we've used it as well. It is good.
oh, okay. Yeah, Chewy has it. It should be arriving today.
oh, great.
Okay, last question. May I go one more, or is that
Yeah,
enough?
hold on. Let me see if I can just find the link right now for it's Coglin's. I'm probably pronouncing that right. Oh, here we
And
go.
I'll just say about the mushers, I have a golden doodle with a lot of allergies. I think that because it's still being absorbed through their paws, I thought I noticed some mild change in her digestion depending on how often I used it. So it's supposed to be very safe and she wasn't licking it, but it still is being absorbed. So I don't know if that was just my perception or if that's a real thing, but if you have a highly sensitive dog, um,
Yeah,
it was still trade-off. It kept her paws intact and from bleeding, and that was the priority. So
sure.
There are also other brands of things that do basically the same thing. So you can look and see if there's like a paw protective wax that's you know
I
got different
have
ingredients or
something,
whatever.
bomb bag, I think it's called, in a green tin.
Hmm.
And but it sounded like petroleum something. And so I didn't trust it. Whereas these
Yeah.
ingredients were very pure. All right.
Yeah, you might have to
So
experiment. I put the food tube link in the chat right now as well.
okay, and we can have access to that, right? We can copy it.
If I save, since I'm recording, I'll just post the link to this conversation and then you'll be able to
Thank you.
download the chat. The other thing, I don't know because I haven't worked with Kismet directly. I don't know, what her reliability is in terms of loose leash walking. But if she's pretty reliable with it, the other thing that I would recommend if you're not already using it is a shoulder leash or a waist leash. Um,
Yeah, I have that.
you have that already. Okay. Because that's another way that you don't have to, take your hands out of your pockets as much.
Oh, no, no, I
Okay,
do in
great.
order to feed her, in order to feed
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Uh, So,
Sharon,
okay,
Okay.
but the bottle thing, it sounds perfect. So
Okay.
my
did they
last question
Sorry,
is,
hold on, Tamir, 1 second. Sarah, did you
Sharon,
have a
did they
question?
change? Yeah, I opened the Coglin's link. Did they change the opening or the lid? It looks different than
Oh,
maybe it's just a bigger
oh,
lid, but it looks a little different.
it does look different. I wonder why would they change it? It was so good.
But I can't tell on
Hmm.
it looks like when you screw it off, when they show the inside, maybe it's the same opening. They just made it a bigger lid. So right now, the one we
Yeah,
have is a little tiny lid, but
right.
if the opening's same and it's
Oh
just a bigger
no,
lid,
the
then I can
opening
move it.
is now it looks like the opening might be really small. I can't tell. Hmm.
And some of the
Well, one
squeeze
thing that
too.
you can do is, oh no, look, if it's the one of the ketchup, it's hard to tell. It looks like the one with the ketchup has a decent sized opening. I can't tell. But the other option is, yeah, weird, is to find one of the old style types and like on eBay, um, and let me see if I can, because I saw a whole bunch of them, and get one of those before they
They stop making them. I'll have to stock up. I mean,
yeah, because
they
all of the
last quite a
pictures
while, but
they do. This one that I have, like you can see, like all of the writing is worn off, and it looks like it's been through the wars. There are I see a whole bunch of the pictures of them on other websites. Like I didn't give you guys Amazon because I'm trying not to use Amazon because they're
yeah,
evil. But
they-
they are easier to find stuff. So I'm just looking to see if the squeeze tubes on Amazon look like the old ones. So I would say um, just Google around food tubes and see um, if they look like what you want in terms of the size of the opening. I don't judge anyone for using Amazon. I'm still using it occasionally for things I can't find anywhere. I'm just trying to not. Um,
Somewhere where you guys are in Western Mass, there's a store called Clean Run.
oh yeah, Clean Run is amazing.
It might have them too. I go in there all the time.
You go to Clean Run all the time?
I love Clean Run. You get all my scenting things there.
Oh, you mean order from them online?
Oh no, I've gone actually. My mother lives in Massachusetts. I go to Massachusetts a lot,
Oh,
and we often make a run up to Clean Run.
oh, well, that's like 15 minutes from my house.
Oh,
Is
well,
that a
there we
pet
go.
store? That's a pet store?
It's the it's an agility equipment
Oh,
supplier, but they have basically all the dog gear you could spend an entire month's paycheck in there very easily
Oh,
on
no.
toys and equipment and everything else.
I got
Um,
Nova some real fur. For scent work, I got some like coyotes, some beavers, some
yes.
raccoon.
Yeah.
Because she's not food motivated, so I had to find other
Yeah.
things to do, and she loved them. But you very rarely can get real fur. Some
Yeah.
are so real fur.
That's what I use them for too, because Kismet also has no interest in food, but I have rabbit fur tugs and he's, yeah, really into that. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Tamir.
One last question, and that is that I don't know, somewhere in my researching and talking with people, um, somebody actually who works with service dogs, I don't remember the name, but she said if you put on the vest, they know they're now working. So I thought that's a good way of doing it. So she never take has that on, say when we're going for a recreational walk or just a sniff walk. But maybe if now, and I say the word working, then that associates because it feels different. Do you think that is a good
Well,
solution?
so yeah, so we'll cover this in Pearl as well in
Okay.
one of the upcoming classes, but we do want our dogs to learn when you're wearing the vest, you're working, and you should either be lying quietly on the floor napping, or you should be paying attention to me. And when you're not wearing the vest, then you're not working and you can do whatever you want. So, so that's something that you want to condition and train her to make that association. So you can definitely, walk her on a short leash, wearing her vest, rewarding for walking near you and using your walking cue, your healing cue. And then, excuse me, you can take off the vest and switch her to a long line and say, go play or whatever her casual walk cue is. And it helps to use those types of environmental cues. I mean, using a verbal cue is really helpful too, but dogs learn situational cues much more easily, body language stuff or environmental things like vests or whatever more easily. So combining them is really helpful.
Thank you
Yeah.
very, very much.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All
Thank you
right.
so much. She's now
Thanks,
all four
everyone.
in the air, having it on her back,
Uh,
looking super
Dead
relaxed. So
bug.
she appreciates it as well.
That's my favorite. I don't know if it's like poodles and poodle mixes are exceptionally good at doing dead bug position, but I do see it in a lot of them. I love it. Kismet
with
goes
the
into dead bug like constantly, and
with the back leg. Here's my abdomen.
I think it's so cute. Sometimes he does like Superman, where his like front
Yes,
arms are like straight out. I think it's hilarious.
Nova does all those as well. Like the whole "Hello, I'm going to sleep like," and you're like, "Hi, that looks comfortable."
I know it does not look comfortable to me, but for some reason
No, it
it
doesn't look
is to
comfortable at
them.
all, but they love it.
Yeah.
Wishing you a great year. Thanks
You
again.
too. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye
Bye.
bye.